I know there's a lot of hate on millennials. They're doing TikTok, they're not paying attention, they don't want to work. Our team actually found some amazing stories of 3 very successful entrepreneurs who have multi-million-dollar businesses while they're in their 20s. We're gonna share these stories to inspire you and get you taking action today. Let's dive in. The story of how Ben Francis founded Gymshark in his parents' basement at 20 years old. So a little bit of background about Ben that'll lead into the Gymshark business, which you haven't heard about. It's a huge brand in the sports and fitness space. So when he was a teenager, he was doing a bunch of side hustles. First off, he built a website that sold custom license plates. Then secondly, he sold iPhone apps. Third, he made a fitness social network. And he got several thousand members, but it didn't get enough traction to actually make it sustainable. So a little background on Ben. Before we dive into Gymshark and his big company, I want to show you some of his side hustles. I think it'll paint a beautiful picture so you can actually connect the dots of how he did it and you could do it for yourself. He started a dropshipping supplement business for bodybuilders, but the profit margins were extremely low. So he actually changed that business into clothing, which I also thought was a really low margin business. Turns out I was wrong. So how did he actually come up with the idea for Gymshark? So you can actually see that Ben was taking actions. He was building websites, trying apps, doing dropshipping, and that led him to figure out what actually started working, which was Gymshark. So Ben and his friends were gym rats. Why is it not like gym donkeys? Anyways, they would spend their free time in the gym and they loved to watch these videos of YouTube of classic bodybuilders. They wanted to wear the stringy tank tops, just like Arnold used to wear in the good old days. But they couldn't actually find any they liked on the market. Ding, 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 ding. Tell them what they win. They could start their own business. So they noticed there wasn't anyone making workout clothing for the younger bodybuilders. And the marketing was mostly geared towards older, bulkier guys, kind of like me. And that is what inspired them to start making their own workout clothing and start Gymshark. So it's not Gym Rat, it's Gymshark. What's like an animal of the sea that I like? Gym Turtle. Just like yourself, maybe you had an idea, but how did you take it from idea to reality? So in 2012, for Gymshark, Ben was 19 years old student in college and a pizza delivery guy. I just had some Domino's today, shout out them. So he would go to college until the early afternoon and then work at Pizza Hut from 5 to 10, and he answered emails for the business in between deliveries. Then he went home to work on the website and design new products. I can definitely relate to that and getting business going. It's just an around-the-clock hustle. The thing to really point out for him, as well as myself and for you, is find the thing you're excited to work around the clock on. That you wake up and you're like, ooh, did I get any new orders in? Or on weekends, you're excited to go do a marketing thing or come up with new products. So here are the steps that he specifically took to get started. Number 1, he got his friends involved and his brother. Look at your network to see who can actually help you on your business journey. Number 2, he bought a sewing machine and a screen printer, and he started making the gym clothing in his parents' garage. Now, to do a proper British accent what Ben has, I will tell you a fun fact. His grandmother taught him how to sew. That's pretty cool, actually. I don't know how to sew. I also don't know how to iron clothes, do you? So number 3, he didn't have any money to invest in marketing, which is an advantage. It's actually an advantage. So he started sending Gymshark swag to fitness influencers that he followed on YouTube and Instagram. Now they started wearing his stuff in their videos and posts, and the sales on Gymshark and the website started blowing up. Keep in mind, working with influencers back then was unheard of. Now you guys see me influencing you all the time with all this stuff I'm telling you to buy. You need to look for marketing activities just like that aren't being used a lot at that time. So what would that be today? Maybe it's on Clubhouse. Maybe it's on Craigslist. Maybe it's something offline. Maybe it's gonna be in WhatsApp groups. Look for the different types of marketing activities that not everyone else already knows about. And after 2 years of building Gymshark on the side, while still going to college and delivering pizzas, he finally quit his job and dropped out of college to focus on his business. And the yearly revenue, just to give an idea where that was 250,000 pounds a year. Now for me, I really aimed for about $3,500 a month or around $42,000 a year. I've done that twice, where once I hit that amount, I quit my day job and made my side hustle my full-time gig. Now as Gymshark grew, Ben had the self-awareness to know he wasn't the best CEO, and that it takes a lot of ego recognition to be able to do. So in 2015, he actually stepped down so that other people could run the operations. He said the move would allow the company to grow even more quickly, which it has, and give him time to work on his weaknesses and become a more rounded business person. Dude, this is crazy. So how is Ben and Gymshark doing today? It's been 9 years since he started, so he's now 29 years old, and Gymshark is on track to do almost $500 million in revenue. They have nearly 500 employees, and the company is valued at over $1.5 billion. Not bad considering Ben is still the majority stakeholder, and he's not even 30 years old. What are some of the lessons that we can all learn from Ben regardless of our age? First, get your train off the tracks. You have to try a bunch of different things before finding a business that works for you. So keep trying. Maybe it's dropshipping, maybe it's apps, maybe it's food, maybe it's consulting, but you can see how those dots actually led him to get Gymshark going. Secondly, it is really hard to start a business solo. Go get your network involved. I can't tell you how many entrepreneurs or people starting their businesses are like, well, I don't want to bug my friends. If your friends are down to help you, you think random strangers are? Go leverage your network, go leverage your churches, your synagogue, your soccer, your friends. They want to help you, I promise you. Leverage the comments, leave a comment below. I bet you someone in the comments can even help you out. So number 3, keep your day job as your main investor. I am not a risky entrepreneur. I didn't go quit my job and then hope my startup works. I built up side hustles, got them to a certain amount of revenue, which generally is around $3,000. And then I said, all right, I now can see that this can be my full-time opportunity. Number 4, look for marketing channels that are underutilized. We've talked about this a lot of our videos. You can see it down below or the site, the marketing plan of AppSumo. The best marketing opportunities are when other people are not using them. So when Ben started sending free merch to fitness YouTubers and Instagrammers, that was not heard of. And that is what got him a lot of traction and got the brand out there. Is his product actually significantly better than all the other stuff? Maybe, but I like that he picked a specific niche and then he did some marketing that no one else was doing, and they really built up that core foundation of their audience. If you want more videos from Uncle Noah, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I put out 3 juicy business videos every single week to help you start your business or your side hustle. Leave a comment below with more successful female entrepreneur stories. We want to feature them in some of our upcoming videos. How Max Mayer took over a moving company at 19 years old. So a little background about Max. He moved from Minnesota, he's a snowbird, down to Arizona at age 18 to start a pool cleaning business. I love highlighting non-sexy companies like this. And while he was building that business to be large enough to sustain himself, he worked part-time at a moving company. And after about 2 months, he made enough money from the pool business, so he said sayonara to the moving company and went full time. Now what's interesting is 3 months later, the moving company contacted him and said, hey, we want to sell the business. Max met with him and ended up buying the moving company he used to work for. You don't have to have a sexy business to have a good life or make a lot of money. Pool cleaning, maybe it's sexy for some, but it's not something you're like, oh, they're doing crypto, they're doing internet stuff. It's like, there's a lot less competition. It's easier for you to win. So I like that he's doing that kind of business. One other thing to think about is that if you're working at a company and the owner seems like they're checked out, or it feels like you could be doing a better job, either A, ask them to sell it, or B, you can always create a competitor of that. So maybe go work at different companies that you're curious about. Maybe work at Subway, work at a moving company, work in e-commerce, whatever it is. It's an interesting chance to see, is this the actual kind of company I would like to run? So Max used every dollar he saved up from his pool business, around $18K, to purchase insurance, equipment, and the down payment on the trucks. Now to land his first clients, he went to storage facilities and pitched their customers on how he would love to help anyone moving in or out, and he was willing to do anything to earn their business. I love this. He's looking, okay, where are my customers at? And importantly, he still uses this to market his business today. Don't stop doing what works. I'm making YouTube videos that seem to be working. So to find employees, he actually went to the gym he worked out at and walked up to random guys to start chatting. That's gotta be an interesting conversation. Hey man, you look like you could lift up things from the ground. You wanna do that and get paid now? Sure, bro. Can you even lift? Anyways, he basically convinced them to come work for him, so they get paid to do what they're already doing for free. So for the first 28 months, he reinvested every single dollar right back into growing the business. That's something we do at AppSumo.com today. We still try to make almost $0 profit every year and reinvest almost everything we make into making AppSumo great for our customers. He grew the business relatively fast by focusing on providing the best service in the industry. Word of mouth referrals started to go in. I want these hot, hunky people to come move my stuff. And keep in mind, this guy was just 19 years old running a business with employees that were almost double his age. One thing I really want you to think about as a business mindset is, how can I be more naive in this instance? When you have a naive mindset, you don't know what you don't know, so you'll go and experiment and try things that other people would never consider. Most of the greatest inventions are not done by experts. They're done by people who are just curious. Think about it. Max was actually pleasantly surprised that if he worked hard and treated his workers with respect, they didn't actually have issues working for a young guy, and many actually wanted him to succeed because they respected him. So how is Max and the Skinny Wimp moving company doing today? It has been 6 years since he started the business. He's 25 years old, and the moving business is doing around $2 million a year. And he's still reinvesting the profits from the moving company into storage units business. Why? To better serve his customers and be a one-stop shop for them. As well, the margins in the storage industry are very high compared to the moving industry. Around 30% for moving companies, where in storage, it could be up to 60%. Now, Max's ultimate goal is to build a storage business larger than the moving business. And Max has already built his own YouTube channel where he documents his journey and interests. You can search Max Mayer on YouTube and check out his channel. So what are takeaways we can learn at any age from Max? 1, document your journey. So what Max has done on this moving journey has created a YouTube channel. He's also created a Teachable account where it looks like he has his own online course teaching other people how to create your own moving company. I think you'd be surprised how many people want to see what's going on in the kitchen and they want to buy your recipe books. And you're going to do it anyway, so might as well document it. Next, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And these unsexy businesses have lots of opportunity and much less competition. So I like that this is a story where it's not internet. He's doing pool and storage, very traditional businesses that you're like, is there really opportunity? Yes, there's still a lot of opportunity. Number 3, when you're getting started, aim to reinvest all your profits in the business. What I think about for AppSumo with this is, how do I make next year even better and then better? And am I willing to take less now for more later? And the answer is always yes. Something to think about for your own companies. Lastly, with marketing, if you know that your what, meaning the problem you're solving is helpful, the who your people are specific, just figure out where they are. And I like that Max was like, yo, I know the people that are doing moving are in a storage facility. So go to the places where your customers are. Make it easy for yourself. So this is a story I've never even heard of, but Dylan Jacob founded BrewMate at 21 years old. So BrewMate creates insulated cans. You could say that they're a Yeti competitor. Dylan. He started his first company in high school, you guys noticing a pattern? Which was a part supply company for repair shops and tech centers. He sold batteries, LCD screens, flex cables, and more. Now in 2014, Dylan dropped out of engineering school to pursue entrepreneurship full time. And he ended up selling his first company to one of his customers. I like that. And after, he wasn't really sure what he wanted to do next. So he bought a house and spent 9 months remodeling it. And during the time he was remodeling this house, he actually came up with another idea, high-end glass tile, which he ended up selling that business a few years later. So why am I highlighting some of these smaller businesses? This is what led up to the big one. So for myself, a lot of my business you've never even heard of, but I took all those learnings, things about customers, things about marketing, sales, operations, and that is what helped me make AppSumo successful. So for yourself, make sure again, just get started today. So here's how Dylan built his third business. He just turned 21, damn. Where were you? At 21, I was living at my mom's house working at a cubicle in Intel. Dylan, when he turned 21, was just starting to enjoy the pleasure of a fresh, cool beer on a nice summer afternoon. Except, he had an experience of drinking a lukewarm beer on a hot summer afternoon, come on. And so Dylan went down a rabbit hole of looking for a koozie. The definition of koozie, maybe we can have like a formal thing up here, is an insulating sleeve used to keep a canned or bottled drink cold. Now he was surprised he couldn't find one, so he started working on his own prototype. I like this guy. Before investing too much money and time to make molds, he wanted to be sure that there was an actual market for his product. We should have a non-alcoholic beer together. So here's actually how he got started to make sure there was a demand. This is good, I actually really like this. So first, he made a rough drawing that he brought to a local engineer to create a 3D model. Now he sent around those files to 3D printing lab to prototype it. Then he used the 3D printed prototype to pitch the concept to local breweries, and he convinced one of the largest breweries in Indiana to give it a try. He spent around $3,000 to create 100 rough prototypes, and he launched in their stores for customer feedback. And during the same time, he ran Facebook ads to his target audience to begin gathering pre-orders. And now the result of it is that his prototype was successful in the brewery, and he had a ton of pre-orders from his Facebook ads. Now his idea was validated, so he was able to go back to his workshop and turn his prototype into a very significant product. And after that, Dylan took a year to make 13 more prototypes to finally get the product molded. And then he created a Shopify store and launched it using his pre-order list plus a bunch more Facebook ads. How is Dylan doing today? BrewMate is making over $140 million a year in sales, and he's diversified from selling 100% from his site to about a third from e-commerce, a third through Amazon, and a third through wholesale. He's also significantly expanded his product line. Can and bottle coolers, wine and champagne, cocktail barware, coffee and mugs, rehydration water and bottle. 100,000 5-star reviews. So what are some lessons that we can all learn from Dylan? Get started with any business. It doesn't have to be sexy. Boring business that make money are very sexy. So your first business should just be a business education. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. Literally, he started one business, didn't do well. Second business, Facebook today. Get started with any business today. It doesn't have to be sexy. Making money is sexy. Boring businesses that have less competition, really sexy. Just really think about your first business can be your business education, and maybe it might even turn out to be very successful too. Next up, this is something I talk about in a lot of my videos, is validate your idea before you waste any time or money. So if you have an idea for consulting, if you have an idea for cans, if you have an idea for an e-commerce site, how can you go see if you can get customers and validate it before you spend years of your time or money to get to that point? I know I've done a lot of that myself. I'm trying to discourage you so that you can find something that people want sooner. As well, solve your own problem. I love this because even if you're the only customer, you're still gonna be happy. Next time you have any part of your day, they're like, man, this is really inconvenient. Write that down. That could be an interesting business opportunity for you to solve. And lastly, don't worry about saturated markets. I'm sure at the time, how many people were like, Dylan, there's a bunch of cup companies. Why would you do this? There is a lot of room in all these different markets. So don't worry about a lot of competitors out there. Worry about just creating something unique and finding customers for yourself. So a few things that surprised me about this. Number one, every single person who was doing these businesses that now has $1 million companies, they were doing other things before that are not $1 million companies. So something to think about for yourself. Doesn't mean just keep starting a bunch of crappy things that never work, but you just start getting that momentum. Like, hey, let me build a website. Let me do some consulting. Let me start actually a lawn mowing business. And notice, hey, this business is good, but maybe there's something else with lawn or home that I can evolve it to. And I think that's really interesting that every single one of these guys had another company they started. I think one of the other kind of takeaways of business that's interesting is there's no secret. So a lot of us watch this content, or I put out this content to help you on your own business journey. And yes, there are strategies, there are some tactics, but a lot of it is just the mindset and you taking action today. I think we watch these videos to say like, oh, is there something I don't know? You know everything you need to know. The important thing is start your YouTube channel today if that's what you're interested in. If it's consulting, go help someone with their Instagram or social media or email marketing today. If it's cooking and food, just go find that one customer. I don't know if there's any magical secrets in it, but what's interesting is that these people started and they kept going. If you can start today and persist, you will be able to create the business you want. One of the other things that was interesting for these guys is that a lot of it was solving problems that they noticed that their customers and themselves were having. So Ben from Gymshark wanted better clothing. Dylan wanted better cups, and he was already doing stuff. He was like, oh, I would like to make a better cup for myself. And he used his previous knowledge to be able to do that. And even Max seems like a content creator, and he's actually built a sizable YouTube channel talking about, hey, this is the business stuff. So for yourself, create things that you can go talk about and find things that you're personally excited to go work on. If you liked this video and you're ready to take action and start your own business, go watch my $1 Million Weekend video. I will walk you through the no BS steps to get your business off the ground in, yes, a weekend, 48 hours. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed yet. Come on, I love you, and I'll see you out there. Pew, pew.